guess we could. I never thought of that. Have the whole area.
Yeah, well, that'd be sweet.
Why haven't we done that? Maybe next game. And welcome to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. And we want to thank, of course, our rocker sponsors as well. Northern Light Surveying and Frank's Tire and Muffler we got a big-time game tonight. It's the last game of the regular season between the Thunderhawks of Grand Rapids and the Wolverines of Rockridge. Wednesday Night Football on J105. The Thunder, Jim.
Yeah, hard to beat, man. Middle of the week, a hump day game. You got to love it.
Second night in a row that we're here at Noble Hall Field. We had a good one last night.
Yeah, when I went home last night, they were still partying here. Grand Rapids girls soccer team punched their ticket to state. That was sweet.
And Grand Rapids trying to party tonight against Rockridge. It is senior night here in Grand Rapids. They have the banner out there. They've been holding that banner for quite some time out there, those cheerleaders. So they're getting the arm workout, waiting for the team to come out of the tunnel. Rockridge is already on their sideline. A few of the other cheerleaders are still at midfield, as we called it last night, the center circle, and they are getting ready. The folks are continuing to file in. It's a beautiful night, again, here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's a little she was a little crispy there last night, but yeah, it feels a little warmer tonight, and I just checked the wind, and it says calm, so couldn't ask for a nicer night here. Low 50s. It's a beautiful night for some football.
Yes, it is. And Grand Rapids looking to super solidify the fact that they are going to be the number one team in the section. But there are some big games tonight in the section. Primarily the one that I'm watching is Hermantown and North Branch face off tonight to end the season. So that's going to decide the 2-3 matchup. And that's a big one. So I'm waiting to see Extra Yards on a Wednesday with Super Joe and Tom Downing. So they'll be recapping the scores across northern Minnesota, of course, recapping this game as well. And you can catch it on KOZY 1320 AM 93.1 FM. And on our Facebook page, it is streamed live at facebook.com/rapidsradio. Of course, we are on our YouTube stream tonight for the final time of the football season. Hockey right around the corner. But football season, last regular season game. And this pregame is brought to you by Mr. Furnace. So we appreciate all of our sponsors this year helping us bring our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports to you. And again, Rockridge faithful from the Virginia area have made their way. Of course, the co-op, Virginia, Evelyn, and Gilbert, they all have come together, and they've got some really good programs. Not the football season they would have liked this year. I think they've been battling some injuries and some other adversity. So just the one win on the season against Pine City. But they, it's the last game of the season. They got nothing to lose, and Hay Section's right around the corner. And I know we've got some other big games, though, across our stations. 96.9 KMFY has a massive game between Deer River and MIB, which will likely decide the 3 seed in that section. And then the GNK is on KOZY, and they're facing Aiken tonight. Again, big-time seeding implications in that one. So here comes the team for Grand Rapids. They bring out the American flag. They run through the banner, and Grand Rapids is now on their sideline coming out of the shed. And here comes the coaching staff. And speaking of coaches, we got to catch up with Coach Spawn in the pregame, and he is the head coach of the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. So we will hear from him next as you are listening. Thunderhawk football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
until at least another 2 minutes, if not 3, to get us through it. Because they're bringing out the colors as well, so probably closer to 3 to 3.5. They're walking the colors off, Stacey.
Sounds good. You can still probably keep it for 2 minutes after. rocked it out. He rocked it out as he does.
Nice touch with that coaching staff.
Yeah.
Question, that was good.
All right, they got 12 on the clock, Stacy. So you can bring me back, bring us back. You can probably make this a 30 if you can. Perfect. This is perfect. And welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Linden alongside Jim Wimmer as we have Stacy back in studio, and we are getting ready for kickoff between Grand Rapids and Rock Ridge. If you were listening to our radio broadcast, you heard Coach Spawn from the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, and they are ready to go for this one. And they will be kicking it off to Rock Ridge again on our YouTube stream. Our pregame brought to you by Mr. Furnace. And we are going to heat things up here in Grand Rapids now as Grand Rapids kicking off from right to left. And we are underway. This is going to be fielded by the Wolverines across the 20 and get up to near the 30-yard line. And that is where they will take over, moving from left to right as we see here from the press box. So should be a fantastic 9-4 of football. And going through the starters for the Wolverines, you'll see Nolan Peterson, Bo Akerson, Jason Coombe, as well as Rory Scuffy, Jeremiah Rayton, Alexander Wilhelm, Carson Robinson, Dominic Wright, Remington Chisholm, Jermaine Boucher, and Asher Fox. And this will be a 4 wide receiver set to the right. Quarterback's in the gun for Rock Ridge. They're going to throw it. It's going to be a screen near side, and Mason Johnson is in pursuit, and Grand Rapids is there right out the gate. And already the Wolverines filling that one. Slow to get up is a number 8, Coombe. And this will now be on the near side hash. It'll be second down and 11 as that's a loss of 1. Ball is at the 29-yard line for the Wolverines.
Great pursuit by Johnson on that particular play. I feel like this linebacker core led by Johnson and Spawn have set the tone all season for this Grand Rapids defense.
Rock Ridge now trips to the left, single wide to the right in the gun. They will be back to pass, and there's pressure already. Good catch by Rock Ridge getting up the field to near the sticks. If they mark that, it could be right at the first down. We'll see. Up near the 40-yard line of the Wolverines, and they will say, I think, just shy. So it'll be third down and very short for Rock Ridge as they are up to near the 39-yard line. Actually, the ball's kind of in between the 39 and 40, so not a lot to go here for a first down, and Rock Ridge is huddled up.
And speaking of Mr. Spawn, putting a lot of pressure on quarterback Coombe in that, on that play there.
So now under center, and that is number 17, Frank Toman, and he is going to just push forward. And Rock Ridge got a decent push up front against it. But the ball, they say, came out. Grand Rapids is saying that they have it. Spawn has the football. But I think they're going to say that that was down progress. And so Toman, 6'5", he's 225 pounds, and he got behind the big boys, and that is a first down for the Wolverines. Coming out offensively, starting to move the football down the field here early. It is 10-16 first quarter, 1st and 10, and the ball up past the 40 near the 45, so right up near the 44-yard line, and now they'll be under center, one split to the right, one to the left, and they will hand this off inside, and Grand Rapids is there defensively on that play. Spawn coming out from the bottom of the pile, and looks like Mason Johnson. Of course, as you mentioned, Jim, those linebackers are just tenacious.
Yeah, those guys just set the tone here, and they've been just unbelievable leaders all season. And it's really hard not to give everything you got when you have that kind of leadership right in the center of your defense.
So Rock Ridge huddled up, 9:37. We are in your first quarter. They didn't get any gain on the play, so it's second down and 10. Ball is at the 44-yard line of the Wolverines. Again, moving from left to right. The Wolverines are in the all whites, white bottoms, white tops, green numerals, black helmets with the green logo of that Wolverine. It's a good pass, and it's incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver, Owen Helene. And he was open, just kind of high passes went through his hands, but it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Rockridge.
And Marcus Thiel looking to get a hold of that, take it back the other way. Wasn't able to get a hold of it, but kind of dangerous there. Ball came in kind of quick. Helene just not able to get his mitts around that one.
Rockridge comes out now with trips to the right, single back in the backfield, coming in the gun. He's got one receiver to the left, and he got Grand Rapids came across. It looked like there's no
I think
flag.
they just held.
And we're gonna have timeout. Rock. That was close.
Yeah,
that was really close.
I had a really good look from my position here, and it looked like they just were able to hold up. So Thunderhawks getting a little taste of their own medicine there.
They do the same thing.
Yeah, they like that hard count. Obviously, Rockridge giving them some of that hard count right back at them.
But credit to the Wolverines here on their first offensive series. They're kind of chewing up some time. It seems like they've got at least a decent game plan coming in here to kind of keep the ball out of the hands of the Grand Rapids offense, if at all possible. And they're getting close to that midfield mark here at the 44-yard line, and a 3rd down and 10. And we'll see what they dial up here. Is early timeout, though. 9:18 first quarter, 0-0 ball game.
And on that last first down conversion that Rockridge completed there, they had a really nice push. So some credit to their elite line. That's as good a push I've seen on the Grand Rapids defense all season.
And this time out on our YouTube stream brought to you by S&S Meats. So now again, no backs, empty backfield. 4 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass. He's under pressure. He's throwing it. It's tipped by Mason Johnson. Good job. And then, of course, Sweeney in there to come in and clean things up for Grand Rapids. And that will now be 4th down and 10. Ball at the 44-yard line. And it appears the punting unit will come on for the Wolverines. So the defense tightens up for the Thunderhawks. And Rockridge will kick this one away. Going back deep is Thiel and Ravers for the Thunderhawks.
Thunderhawks with good pressure on the quarterback there, and good coverage by the defensive backs.
High punt, going to be fair caught at just ahead of the 30-yard line by Thiel, and that is where the offense will come out for Grand Rapids, and they will be led by number 9, Logan McNear.
Yeah, Thiel with a good decision there, as he had looked like number 20 right in his face just as he caught that ball.
And Grand Rapids coming out on the field, taking really no time. They didn't huddle for very long, so they are out there ready to rock and roll. And they're actually going to be back from center with McNear. They still have that double wing fullback set, but they are deep. 1 wide to the right, 1 to the left, and they will hand this to Ravers, who's going right side. He's trying to get to the edge, and he does, and he's running down the field. Ravers is to the 40. He cuts inside. He's still running. 30, 20, 10, 5. He's gone. Touchdown, Mr. Ravers, putting up 6. Thunderhawks on top, 6-0. 8:54 in the first quarter. First offensive play. Mr. Ravers doing it all season long.
Ravers from 69 yards out takes that ball up the right sidelines, able to cut it back to the middle, and he found space and got to the end zone. What a nice run by Ravers.
Raleigh will come in to attempt the PAT. He just got back from Duluth-Denfeld last night as he was playing some soccer. And now the kick is up and on the way, and it is good. And Grand Rapids leads 7-0, 8:54. We are in your first quarter of play, and we'll be back for more Rockridge versus Grand Rapids football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
If that's any indication.
He was moving. He just got out there.
Wow. Ravers has been impressive all season.
He's just getting better. And we are back at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Our first quarter on our YouTube stream. Want to remind you is brought to you by the Dutch Room and Mad Dogs Pizza. Pizza, wings, subs. Call 218-326-1774. Or go to maddogspizza.com. Online ordering available. And they are getting you hooked up in Grand Rapids for some Thunderhawks football. Grand Rapids does lead now here in the first quarter, 7-0. First offensive play from scrimmage. Ravers taking a big-time run to the house, and Grand Rapids will kick this one off, and it'll be fielded at the 30, and that is where the Wolverines will take over 1st and 10.
Raleigh kind of placing that kickoff, was trying to see if he can find some open space. Maybe they could get on top of that ball, but it looked like number 6 Akerson was able to fall on that, and it's like Rock Ridge going to start on about their 30.
And Rock Ridge, and we have some sponsors from Northern Lights Surveying and Frank's Tire and Muffler helping bring you Grand Rapids and Rock Ridge football on a Wednesday night.
MEA
week. we were right on top of it, Jim. We're on the same page. Trips to the right, one to the left. Tillman's in the gun. He's got one back to his right. For the Wolverines, snap is back. It's thrown. It's almost complete in the middle. Kind of good pass. And it was Helene who just couldn't haul it in, but it was a relatively good throw by Rock Ridge. And will, though, go all for naught. 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 31-yard line of the Wolverines. Far side hash moving from left to right.
Coombe is at it. Coombe had Mason Johnson in his face, so he didn't have a whole lot of time to think about it. I think that he had to release that ball just a tick early. Helene probably, about the time he turned, the ball was right there, not a chance to pull it in.
And spread everybody out. They've got a bunch. 4 receivers to the right. It's going to be another screen, but it's Tobin. He's going to go forward. Excuse me, that's Jacob Coombe, as you were right. And Jim is, again, these block numerals for the Wolverines. I'm trying to get used to them. They have those green Wolverines, but it's kind of interesting numerals. They're kind of blocky. So from our vantage point, it can be kind of hard to see at times.
The first time they set up in that, Coombe set up out, split wide, took the pass out wide, and then he set up for the downfield pass. So they're Rock Ridge throwing some stuff here at Grand Rapids, probably some new looks here tonight.
3rd and 9, ball at the 32. Coombe's back from center. Now you have a 4 wide receiver set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and looks to the sideline. Coombe's also pretty big, 6'2", 160. A flag comes out from the backside, and that is going to be against the Wolverines, and that'll back them up.
Yeah, they had to take a timeout earlier because of a little slow going, getting out of the huddle, and once again, that's not going to help their cause.
Well, that'll back them up. If you just joined us, Grand Rapids in the All Blacks tonight, as I always like. Soccer team last night was in the All Blacks, too. I love the All Blacks. Black bottoms, black tops, orange numerals, black helmets, logo on the side. They stay in that same formation. Twins right, twins left. Back to pass. It's slipping and throwing it. This is dangerous. And just in the middle of the field, nobody was there. But the pressure coming. And I look like Joe Dick back there making a play. He's got that old school kind of that shoulder pad that comes up behind the helmet there. So that's pretty cool. Now it's going to be 4th down and long. 4th and 14. Ball is at the 27-yard line. Ball in between the hashes for Rock Ridge. And the punting unit is out onto the field again deep. Are Ravers and Thiel.
Coombe once again with pressure from one of the linebackers.
And the punt is up. He's punting too, and this will be fielded by Thiel. He's coming near side. He crosses the 50. He's got speed. He cuts inside of the 40. Now he's hit from the backside, and that'll be Grand Rapids with great field position across the Rock Ridge 35-yard line, and they will have it 1st and 10 in Wolverine territory.
Marcus Thiel showing off his speed there. Cut that one back a little bit. Returns that for about 22 yards.
So 7:39, we're in your first quarter. It's 7-0. Grand Rapids be 1st and 10. Ball is at the 34-yard line of the Wolverines. Moving from right to left as we see it are the Thunderhawks. McNair will be under center. You got two wide receivers set T formation behind him. Mason Johnson is fullback on all fours. And they will hand this off to Thiel, and he breaks one tackle. He spins out of another, and Rockridge swarming to the football. But Thiel gets up to near the 30-yard line.
Thiel had to earn every one of those yards as Rockridge was giving him a lot of problems there, but Thiel able to juke his way to a few yards there.
It's like a gain of 4, second down and 6. Ball is spotted right at the 30-yard line. 7-0 Grand Rapids, 7-11 first quarter. Now you're going to run twins to the right. And a typical double wing fullback formation behind McNair under center. Rabers goes over the top, and they got him to jump. Did Grand Rapids, looks like.
McNair with that hard count, he's so good at it, and Rockridge just couldn't help but bite.
And it is an offsides against the Wolverines, so now it'll be second down and short for Grand Rapids.
And the thing is, when they do that hard count, they put motion in at the same time, and it just really is hard to stay composed and not jump off sides.
So the near side receiver is Christopherson. Far side is Duell. McNair will hand this off inside to Johnson, who just busts through the middle. Now he cuts outside to the 10. 5, he's fighting. Is he in? Touchdown! Grand Rapids. Mason Johnson taking it to the house. And it's 13-0. 6:44 in the first quarter. Grand Rapids on top.
Johnson from 25 took that up the middle, cut it back left. He had a couple of Rockridge players hanging on him, but he was not going to be denied. He drug a couple into the end zone on that left pylon.
And Raleigh will come in for the PAT. We await the snap. As he's set, snap is back, hold is down, kick is on the way, and it is good. And Grand Rapids leads 14-0, 6:44 left to go in the first quarter, and we shall return as your to high school football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Mason Johnson is a dude.
He is. He can do it all. Offense and defense. And we are in Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy back in studio. Again, our first quarter brought to you by Dutch Room Mad Dogs Pizza, 218-326-1774. Get some pizza, wings, subs, or you can order online at maddogspizza.com. Mason Johnson with the touchdown run, and now Grand Rapids is up 14-0. 6:44 first quarter over the Wolverines of Rockridge. While I have a moment, I want to thank Mr. Furnace, Dale's Auto Body, Northland Portables, Atchison Tire, Deerwood Bank, and Latvala Lumber for bringing you Thunderhawks football, as that is kicked off and going to be fielded at just ahead of the 10-yard line by the Wolverines. They'll cross the 25, and that is where there will be a pile of humanity between both teams. And the Wolverines will come out first and 10 and see if they can't get something going offensively. Their first offensive series was not too bad. They got a decent push up front. They were able to make some plays, but kind of stalled out there on their second offensive series, as this Thunderhawk defense has been tenacious all year. In fact, the only teams to score against the starting defense for Grand Rapids have been Bemidji and Hermantown. And that starting defense is Oliver Spahn, Jackson Ravers, Ari Lampa, Marcus Steele, Cade Sweeney, Joe Dick, Ethan Morgan, Mason Johnson, Justin Crum, Adric Adam, and Omar Halal. But a lot of different guys get in. They've got some depth in rotation for Grand Rapids. And now the quarterback, as they rotate quarterbacks, does Rockridge. And this will be Toman, number 17. And he will hand this off inside, and the Thunderhawks are there early. And again, Joe Dick coming in making a play. He's making his presence felt in this game early.
Yeah, he's all over the place here tonight. He just fits right in with that linebacking core that Thunderhawks throw out there on any given night.
That's actually a loss of 2, so it's going to be second down and 12. Ball to 25-yard line. 6:16 first quarter. It's 14-0 Grand Rapids. Tillman comes in from the sideline. They're both quarterbacks, whether it's Tillman or Coombe, big guys. A lot of height. And they will split. Twins to the left. One wide to the right. One back in the backfield. They are in the gun. One back to the right for the Wolverines. They will hand this off, and Mason Johnson just blew that up. Oh, my goodness. He was in the backfield at the handoff. Is coming across and coming up and getting up slow. And that was Coombe who was coming across. He's not a small guy. I just mentioned he's got some size, but Mason Johnson just lit him up. Oh, my.
Mason Johnson says, "How do you do, Mr. Coombe?" Holy smokes. That Mason Johnson, he is a bad man.
3rd down and 21. Ball is at the 16 of the Wolverines. And in our pregame with Coach Spahn, Coach Kinnan, who coaches his defense, Coach Spahn had very high remarks. Said he's the best defense coordinator in the state. And his defense proves it so far this season, night in and night out.
Wouldn't argue with him. Pretty good baseball coach as well.
Yeah, went to the not only high school, but coaches of Legion. Went to the regionals for Legion baseball. Fargo got to cover that.
I think he's been to state with his high school team
Yeah.
multiple years in a row.
Does fantastic. So there's going to be a timeout on the field, and this timeout on our YouTube stream is brought to you by S&S Meats. It is 14-0, Thunderhawks, 4:58. We are in your first quarter of play, and right now the Wolverines of Rockridge are trying to figure out how they can move the ball against a very, very good defense in Grand Rapids, and not many teams have been able to figure it out.
Yeah, initially they had a pretty good script of plays to get things started, but looks like Coach K is getting his defense figuring things out here, and they're raising some havoc out there, Marcus.
Yes, they are, and running those multiple linebackers out there with Morgan and Spawn, Johnson, and Joe Dick. And so,
And we continually calling those numbers. They're just, and it seems like one is in the backfield untouched play after play. It's really difficult for the quarterback to get anything started.
So Tolman is your quarterback, trips to the left. He's back to pass, and Spawn's breathing down his neck, and he threw that away before he really got hit by Spawn, and that'll be incomplete. And this will be now 4th down and 21, ball at the 16-yard line. And that is just, if you're Rockridge, that is a scary sight to see Oliver Spawn coming in unblocked.
Yeah, he's like built like a fire hydrant. Dude's coming at you, and you know that he's going to destroy you if you hold the ball for another tick longer. So smartly they got rid of the ball.
And even has that bright red hair like a fire hydrant. They're going to kick this one are the Wolverines. They'll punt it. It's almost blocked. It'll be fielded by Rabers. To the 40, he's trying to get to the right side, and he will be tackled from behind by the Wolverines. And that, I believe, number 22, Liam Holland.
That was a nice tackle on
that
Rabers
was.
there. Rabers looking to bust that out to the right sideline, and Holland doing a nice job there of wrestling Rabers to the ground.
Yeah, you don't see Rabers get caught from behind very often. It's a good angle and good opportunity there by the Wolverines. It'd be 1st and 10 for Grand Rapids, but again, great field position as they are at the Rockridge 35-yard line, moving from right to left. McNear will lead the team to the line. They will be wide to the right. Jewell. Double wing fullback set behind McNear. Tight to the left. They will send the motion over, and it's going to be handed off inside again. But this time, Arlt with the fullback carry, as he's fullback in there now. And that was a good play by the Rockridge defense. Not much going there. In fact, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, Rockridge doing a good job of filling those gaps and not allowing Arlt any yardage on that one. He generally can drag a few guys for a couple at least.
So now you're having Arlt, Morgan, and Thiel are all in the backfield. Thiel will go over the top. It's a pitch to Thiel near side. He's trying to get to the edge, and he does. He's to the 30. He cuts up, and he will just run out of bounds and near the 20-yard line.
And there's a marker on the field.
And we will see what this is because it's way downfield. It looks like it's against Grand Rapids, and it is a hold against the Thunderhawks. That's going to back things up for the Thunderhawks. And that has been something we've seen from Grand Rapids. They've actually played pretty clean football here as of late, but a penalty there will negate that good run by Marcus Steele. And Rockridge now has an opportunity to kind of keep Grand Rapids back against the chains, as this ball is going to be set on the near side hash. It'd be second down and 10, ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Spawn's not going to like that. You got a hold going on quite a ways from the play there. There's no reason for that. Negates that nice run by Marcus Steele.
And so Grand Rapids comes out, dwells wide to the right, and you're going to see Hajduk near side. All right behind McNear. McNear's back to pass. He throws on a little wheel round, and he's got Thiel and drives forward, tries to get up to the sticks, and he might be right at the 25-yard line.
Thiel doing a nice job. He's fallen to the ground. He's able to get his arm down and kind of push himself forward, and then he made it to the sticks. That was a lot of effort.
That was a lot of effort, but he did, as you mentioned, you got forward. So first down and 10, Grand Rapids at the 25-yard line of Rockridge. Again, moving from right to left. 3:57, we're in your first quarter, 14-0 Grand Rapids, but Thunderhawks on the move.
McNear with nice touch on that pass.
T formation behind McNear, who is under center. McNear will hand this one off, and that is Morgan going far side, trying to get upfield, and he's still on his feet and towing the sideline. I think they're going to say he stepped out. So he did step out prior to the 10, but that will be a first down for Grand Rapids.
Morgan with some shifty moves there, able to juke and jive his way down to another first down, picks up about 12 on that carry.
And after one, MIB leads Deer River 6-0 in Mountain Iron Buell.
I have a feeling that's going to be a dogfight.
Very much so. First and 10, Grand Rapids, they are on the Rockridge 13. Too wide to the left. McNear's under center. McNear, pitch near side and cutting up the field. Now cutting, trying to break tackles is Rabers, and swarmed up by the Wolverines. Good pursuit by Rockridge, and Rabers kind of held in check there as he gets up to near just across the 10, close to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, Rabers trying to find some space there, just wasn't able to. It looked like it was number 44. Reed was able to wrap him up and keep him from gaining much of anything there.
Just about 3 is all. You don't see Rabers get only about 3 yards, so great job by the Wolverine defense. So second down and 7. Ball is at the 9-yard line, and they will have McNear's still got the football, and he's trying to battle forward. And that Rockridge defense did not bite on that. We've seen, in fact, I've been on that play several times this season, Jim, but Rockridge not with a good film study there, and McNear doesn't get a whole lot on the play. So third down, and looks like didn't really gain much of anything on that. So back to the original line of scrimmage, and maybe about a yard at most. So third and 6 from the 9, 2:24 and counting. We are in your first quarters, 14-0 Grand Rapids, but an opportunity for the Wolverines. Here's this third and 6. You have 2 wide to the right. It's Duell and Hajduk. And Morgan goes over the top in motion, and they hand this off inside. And getting up is Arles with the carry, and he's pushing towards the 5, but he will be short. So it's going to be fourth down for Grand Rapids. 1:56. We are in your first quarter, 14-0 Thunderhawks. And the offense will stay on the field for the Thunderhawks on a 4th and 4. Ball is at the 7-yard line on the near side hash. McNear comes in from the sideline. And this is a big play early on here in the first quarter. Well split wide to the right. Hajduk to the left. Double wing set behind and fullback behind McNear, and it's going to be McNear rolling right. He's got speed. He's looking downfield, throws to the end zone, and incomplete. He had a couple of receivers open. He was trying to get Hajduk crossing the field, and Rockridge has just turned away Grand Rapids on downs within the 10-yard line.
McNair had a number of receivers to choose from. He had Hajduk open in the back of the end zone, kind of overshot him. Hajduk dove for that one, but couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, and Duell was kind of standing there open as well. And Duell, you had, again, multiple opportunities for some receivers. If maybe in the film study you might have picked Duell on that one because he was just kind of standing still. But regardless, here come the Wolverines, but they will be backed up in their own territory at the 7, 1st and 10, moving from left to right. And Toman at quarterback again, number 17. He's going to be under center here, and he will hand this off inside a Wolf. Violent hit by Grand Rapids. Coming out of that one in number 66, Adric Adam, the AA.
Yeah, Adam just wrapping him up and putting him to the ground. There was no going anywhere after 66 wrapped him up.
Gain of just about a yard, short gain. So ball's at the 9-yard line. 53 seconds, first quarter is 14-0. Grand Rapids.
Student section all lit up in pink here tonight with Breast Cancer Aware Month going on.
Cheer squad throwing out some shirts. I'm waving, but I don't think I'm going to get one.
Maybe a football tonight.
Maybe. Twins to the left, one wide to the right, one back in the backfield. Under center is Rockridge. Showman will hand this off again and right into the teeth of that Thunderhawk defense, and there's just not a lot going. And Adric Adam is there, and also Halal, the two big guys inside, and it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Wolverines, and I think they will likely let this quarter expire as we are near 12 seconds. And they are just going to allow this one to tick down. And we are going to go to your second quarter of play, and your second quarter on our YouTube stream is going to be brought to you by Rapid Roof Truss, agricultural, residential, steel, and trim. Call 326-1777. And we will take a quick timeout as you are listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Max Grossman doing a little dance down there on the sidelines.
And welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer as we are into your second quarter now. Grand Rapids leads the Wolverines of Rockridge 14-0. Rockridge will have it 3rd and 10 from their own 7-yard line, and they will be moving from right to left as we see it here in the second quarter. Lining up in the gun with trips to the left. And the ball is on the ground, and Rockridge is just going to dive on this at about the 2 as the snap was not clean. Toman, and this will be now 4th down and very long, and this is going to be a deep punt from inside their own end zone for the Wolverines against this defense of Grand Rapids, and the deep backs again will be Ravers and Thiel for the Thunderhawks.
Once again, Halil and Adam right on top of that, so there was no picking that up and doing anything with it.
And just backed up to the back of the end zone is Rockridge to punt this one, so it's got to be a pretty clean slap, and it goes over his head and out. And that is a safety for Grand Rapids, and that is exactly what you can't have happen if you're the Wolverines in that situation. But it was a high snap that goes over Coombs' head and out of the end zone, and a safety, and the Thunderhawks now lead 16-0 with 11:21 in the second quarter.
And the punter having to line up a little shallower than normal, that's a little bit different snap for that center. Probably putting his same touch on that ball and a little bit extra arc there, right over the head of the punter, Coombe again, and 2 points Rapids plus the ball.
Plus the ball. And while we have a moment, let's thank Superwoman Foods, S&S Meats, Benders, Mackley Auto Repair, M&H Gas, Itasca Economic Development Corporation, Woodland Bank, Grooms Property Management, the Timberlake Lodge, Nooches in the Corner, Northern Star Co-op, Cenex, Grand Rapids State Bank, Grand Rapids Public Utilities Commission, 2-1-A Supply, Cedar Creek Tavern, and the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association for bringing you Thunderhawk football this season. And last regular season game in Grand Rapids, looking to lock down the number 1 team in the section, as they have been dominant.
And they've been rising up the ranks for the statewide poll as well. Last I saw, they were number 6.
As this is punted high on the free kick, and is going to be fielded by Thiel. He's going to cross the 35 to the 40. He's got a hole. He's to the 50. He's a 40. He's got one man to beat. He's to the 20. He's got a block. 10, 5. I Thiel, you Marcus Thiel. Touchdown, Thunderhawks.
Marcus Thiel, he picked up that punt. Rabers looked at him and pointed to where he wanted him to go. Rabers went up, took out the guy. Down the field, you got Ethan Morgan taking out the other guy, and Thiel just finding a path to the end zone with his speed. There was nothing Rockridge could do about it.
It is now 22-0, Grand Rapids 11-11. We are in your second quarter, and Grand Rapids with Raleigh will kick the PAT. McKinney is your holder. They set, and we await the snap. The snap is back, hold is down, kick is on the way, and it is good. Grand Rapids now leads 23-0, 11-11. We are in your second quarter, and you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on the YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Man, to have that speed, huh?
He can light it up. That hole was just opened up in the middle. As you mentioned, it's just like they saw it the whole way. It was like.
And we're back.
And welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Again, our second quarter on a YouTube stream brought to you by Rapid Roof Truss, Agricultural Residential, Steel and Trim. Call 326-1777. Marcus Steele, after the safety by Grand Rapids on the free kick, Thunderhawks took it back to the end zone for a score. So that's changed very quickly for Rockridge. This is now 23-0, 11-11. Second quarter, and Grand Rapids will kick off from left to right. Raleigh kicks this high, and it'll be fielded at the 20 by the Wolverines. And special teams unit Arlton Company coming down and making a play, and this will now be first down and 10 for the Wolverines.
Alt along with Lucas Asplund on that return. That kick coverage team has done a great job these last couple of weeks. There's not been much to be had on kick returns.
No, they've very much improved throughout the season, and those guys are physical. And again, while we have a second, we want to thank a couple of our Rockridge sponsors as well, that include Northern Lights Surveying and Frank's Tire and Muffler. And visit all of our sponsors as they allow us to do these games on a Wednesday night.
Thank you so much. It's so much fun.
First and 10, ball at the 26-yard line of the Wolverines there in the gun for two Twins to the right, one to the left. It's a little dump inside, number 44 for the Wolverines. Well set up play by Rockridge, and that is Abram Reed. And got a few on the play there, so it'll be second down for the Wolverines.
Joe Dick, with a little help from his friends there, denied him anything further than basically where he received the ball.
So, second and 8. Just a gain of 2.
Joe Dick and his neck roll.
Yeah, I like that. It's old school. I just love that. Stoneman is back from center, and he's going to roll to the right. He's under duress. He throws it on Ethan Morgan. Did they catch it? Oh, incomplete. It hit the ground. Pass was intended for Liam Holland, number 22, and Morgan almost got that, but low pass will hit the turf, and it'll be 3rd down and 8. Ball is at the 28-yard line for the Wolverines, moving from right to left. Ball's on the near side hash.
Yeah, Ethan Morgan definitely had his eye on that. He was ready to scoop that one up.
It's 23-0 Grand Rapids, 10-20. We are in your second quarter. And the Wolverines will come out. Trips now to the right. One wide to the left. One back to the right of Tolman, who's in the gun. He gets a snap. He's rolling right. He throws it. It's going to be intercepted by Mason Johnson to the 20, 10, 5, pick 6. Mason Johnson. He's got 2 scores, offense and defense. And Grand Rapids rolling right now at 10-12 in the second quarter as they have just put up another score. It is 29-0 Grand Rapids.
Mason Johnson on a last-second move went over to cover the third receiver. There was some communication going on with the Grand Rapids defensive backs. Combe tries to go to Johnson's guy. Johnson read it all the way, picked that off, and there was no stopping him.
So Raleigh will get ready to kick this one. The hold is down, kick is up, and end over end, it's good. And it's 30-0. Grand Rapids leads over the Wolverines of Rockridge with 10-12 left to go in the second quarter. And you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Mason Johnson's a dog.
Man, he jumped that route.
I love that kid.
He is a brute. Welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy back in studio. Grand Rapids has jumped out to a 30-0 lead over Rockridge, 10-12 to go second quarter, as Mason Johnson just had a pick 6. And Grand Rapids will kick this one off from left to right. And for the second straight week, all phases of the game have scored.
Yeah, it's unfortunately for the Wolverines, Thunderhawks picking up where they left off last week.
Kick is fielded and just in front of the 15. Now trying to get upfield is a Rockridge and up to near the 30. So Scuffy on the return. It'll be a first down and 10 for the Wolverines. And they had it well scripted. Their very first offensive possession, they were able to move the football a little bit. But since that time, it has been very slow going for that Rockridge offense against this Grand Rapids defense.
Yeah, just a ton of pressure coming on. And play after play, you got interior linemen in the backfield. You've got the linebackers raising havoc in there. It's just Wolverines just not able to get anything going. Just way too much pressure.
But it's been that way for most teams throughout this season against the Thunderhawks. His Toman is under center. And he will pitch this far side and trying to get around the edge and not being able to get there is Reed for the Wolverines. So it'll now be second down and long for the Wolverines.
Mason Johnson wrapping him up and Sweeney coming over there and cleaning up the mess. There was no going there.
So it's 9:58 second quarter. It's 30-0 Grand Rapids. Second and 12 now. Ball's at the 28-yard line, ball on the far side hash. Trips to the left, one wide to the right, one back in the backfield. Tomey's in the gun. He is back to pass, looking and throws it near side screen. Now grinning to the midfield and trying to get up to the 35, and does, are the Wolverines. And that's number 15, and that's Castellano. And this will set up a third and manageable for Rockridge. 3rd and 5, ball at the 35-yard line. 9:35, second quarter, 30-0, Grand Rapids.
Yeah, nice play there. Johnson again in the backfield, raising havoc, but able to get that ball out and gain some positive yardage.
Trips left, one wide right, one back in the backfield. Tomey stands back from center. He looks over the Grand Rapids defense, and they are up. And now they back off a little bit. It's another screen, basically same play, but this time trying to get out and cannot. Morgan's there, Adams there, Rabers is there. Joe Dick even jumps over the pile. And this will be 4th down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Morgan got out there, slowed him down, and then his friends came over and cleaned it up. So there was nothing to do there for the Wolverines.
And there's a Wolverine who is slow to get up, so the training staff is going to come out and trying to get up. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. It looks like number 55 for the Wolverines. That is Carson Robinson. He is a junior, 6'1", 195, and being semi-helped off the field. And this will be a 4th down play for Rockridge. 4th and 8. Ball is at the 32-yard line, and the punting unit appears to be coming out for the Wolverines. And they will kick this from right to left, deep backs. Rabers Thiel, the ever dangerous Rabers Thiel.
And these guys have played together quite a few years, so they're very strong communicators.
And that is McNear fielding it on the sideline for Grand Rapids. Just punting that one for the Wolverines is Owen Helene, number 1. And Grand Rapids will take over. 1st and 10 in their own territory. And if you're a Wolverines fan, you take the wins where you can get them in a game like this. Grand Rapids has had really good field territory here for most of the game. And this is going to be, they're getting another ball out here. I'm looking to where they're going to spot this, because are they going to mark this right at they're right at midfield right now, and they are going to actually mark this right at midfield at the 50. So still about some of the worst field position Grand Rapids has had, and you can't give the Thunderhawks this kind of field position and expect that offense not to be rolling, because they are just on the move as McNear is coming in from the sideline from Coach Spawn, and he is going to break that huddle, and they will come out. Christopherson to the left, Duell to the right, and you will have Thiel and Rabers and Johnson. So you're starting 3 backs in, and they will hand this off. Johnson, he's through the middle. Now he cuts outside to the 40. He's getting his speed to the 30, and he will be tackled as he crosses the 25-yard line. And another big play. He's just shooting through the middle of that Rockridge defense like a cannon.
Yeah, Johnson comes through that hole, has that ball covered up. There's no getting the ball from him. Finds open space back to the left. Takes that one for 28, carrying a couple of Wolverines to the out of bounds on the far side.
So 1st down and 10, Thunderhawks. And they have quickly gotten down to the 23-yard line of Rockridge. Moving from left to right here in the second quarter. 8.5 minutes, 30-0 Grand Rapids. And they line up.
Mason
McNear
Johnson's having a night here.
looks over the defense, and ball's on the ground, but he picks it up, hands it to Rabers. Rabers is quickly wrapped up by a barrage of Wolverines. And number 77, Jermaine Boucher, in there, as well as a bunch of his friends. And those are the things, though, as you get close to sections, and you know Coach Spawn, he's going to look at those. You got to get that cleaned up with some of that ball security. I know he talks about that every single week. Ball security, ball security, ball security.
And that's part of the reason you still have the starters in. I'm sure they want to get at least a half in here tonight. So those are the things you want to work on, and best place to do it is in a game.
McNear will hand this off. Thiel, he breaks one tackle, he breaks two, and Rockridge will swarm him up at near the 20-yard line. And Grand Rapids now on a third down. Helene on the tackle for the Wolverines. 7.5 minutes. We are in your second quarter. It's 30-0 Grand Rapids. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 6 Ball's at the 19-yard line of Rockridge. Grand Rapids moving from left to right. And they will line up in the normal formation, tight to the left. Duell is wide to the right. Field goes over the top, and they got him to jump. Did McNear, and I would almost like to be down on the field when he does, just to hear, because you know the teams see this on film every single week, but they seem to get every single team to do it.
And I'm sure they remind themselves multiple times throughout the game, don't jump, but you just can't help it. McNear's so good at it, and Grand Rapids running motion at the same time. It's just so much going on. You just can't help but bite.
So it's now 3rd and 1 at the 14-yard line, and McNear brings the offense up, same formation as the prior play. So McNear under center, and he will take it himself, and he's got speed. Touchdown! Logan McNear again. He just makes it look so easy from 14 yards out, and Grand Rapids has extended their lead to 36-0, 6:59, and we are in your second quarter.
Nice fake there to Mason Johnson. Johnson fakes the McNear fakes the handoff to Johnson. Johnson gets swarmed over by the Rockridge front line there, and McNear goes basically untouched to the end zone.
Raleigh will kick this one, and it's on its way. It's blocked by Rockridge, and so the score will remain 36-0, 6:59. We are in your second quarter, and you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOCY Sports. And we are at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy back in studio. Again, our YouTube stream. Second quarter brought to you by Rapid Roof Truss. Grand Rapids has extended their lead 36-0 here in the second quarter with 6:59 left. And every time Logan McNear runs the football, I just watch it because it's almost like it's slow motion, but it's so fast at the same time.
Yeah, it's
so
incredible. Deceiving. He's got such a long stride that he is just galloping down the field, and once he gets striding out, there's no catching him. I think he might be the fastest guy on the team.
Just effortless. And Raleigh will kick this one off from left to right. High kick fielded at the 15 by the Wolverines, and they will try to get it upfield against Grand Rapids and get it up to near the 25-yard line, and that's where they will take over 1st and 10. And we got a couple scores to bring you. Halftime in MIB. The Rangers are up over Deer River 6-0. Low-scoring game in that one, so a battle. And in the second, GNK leads Aiken 8-7. They say that it could be, if GNK wins this game over Aiken, they could host a section game in Coleraine for the first time in many, many years. So
good for the Titans. They've stepped it up this season. They certainly have been much more competitive.
And I can only imagine the atmosphere in Coleraine for a section game. So.
And we had a feeling that MIB Deer River was going to be that's a dogfight over there.
Shimmick versus Zubich, head coaches. Man, a couple of legends. And they will hand this off inside to the Wolverines. And Grand Rapids is there. Not a lot going, so second down for Rockridge. 6:42, second quarter is 36-0. Grand Rapids on top. No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Ball is at the 25-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Rockridge moving from right to left.
And Rockridge might be wondering why Grand Rapids isn't calling off the starters here, but I'm sure coach wants to get a half in here, and they're potentially looking at a bye here, so got to get some work in tonight.
They'll run trips to the left, one wide to the right. Tolman's in the gun. He will look and set. He's back to pass. It's a screen and blown up. What a big time hit. And that's Joe Dick coming in. and laying the hammer down.
Oh my gosh, Joe Dick with that neck roll just putting a lick on him. Jeez, you could hear that from up here.
That was a big time play, and it will be 3rd down and 14. Ball is at the 21-yard line.
That was going from forward to reverse real quick.
And I tell you what, that hit made my head a little foggy. I'm like slow on trying to get to the next play. I'm like, what's just happened? But that was how hard that hit was. Goodness gracious.
It's been a real treat to watch this Grand Rapids defense this year.
Trips left, one wide right. One back to the right of Toman. He stands back from center. He's back to pass. He's looking. He throws it deep, and it's batted away. Good play in the secondary by Grand Rapids. And
Sweeney on the coverage, I believe.
yep, Sweeney. And that was good because the intended receiver for the Wolverines had about a half step. But Sweeney was able to kind of dive, reach his arm out, knock that one down.
Yeah, it took all the reach Sweeney had to knock that one away. Otherwise, could have been a huge gain.
I think it was Scovey, the intended receiver for the Wolverines. And punting again will be Rockridge. And that went off the side of his foot. And Spawn is having some words with number 1, Owen Helene, but it will be all for just talking back and forth, and that goes off again the side of his foot, and that punt will be into the Rock Ridge bench in Grand Rapids with 5:01 to go in the second quarter, up 36-0. We'll have, again, fantastic field position inside Wolverine territory, moving from left to right. And even when he comes in from the sideline, McNair, just that gallop of his, it's like, it is so smooth. You know, I watch a lot of track and field, and, you know, the professional athletes, when they run it, they make it look so easy. He just does that.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got that gait.
He does. And they will line up now with McNair back from center. He's got Morgan to his right. Looks like Arlt is right behind him. And they will run option. Right side, McNair. Oh, my. 20. He breaks one tackle, and he had one man to beat. It was a touchdown-saving tackle by Rockridge.
Yeah, just so smooth. He just cuts his way through the middle there. Great vision, able to cut back, and really nice gain there, Logan McNair.
Rayton with the tackle, but McNair gets down to the 10-yard line. Ball is right in between the hashes. And it's 1st and 10 for Grand Rapids. In fact, it's 1st and goal from the 10. You see Christopherson to the left, Duell to the right. We'll have the double wing set, but it's deep because McNair stands back from center, and it's going to be a pitch near side. And this is going to be Rabers, and he will stroll this one in easily from the right side from 10 yards out. Touchdown, Grand Rapids, and Rabers has put Grand Rapids over the 40 mark. It's 42-0, 4:24, second quarter.
And Thunderhawks made that look easy. You can't say enough about that pitch out from McNair. It was perfectly placed. Rabers able to maintain his stride just ahead of speed, and there was no slowing him up, and Wolverines were not going to catch up. Beautiful play.
Raleigh will kick this. It's up, and this time it is good. And so Grand Rapids extends their lead to 43. It's 43-0, 4:24. We are in your second quarter, and we will be back after this quick timeout as you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football, J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOCY Sports.
Such a nice pitch out. Did you notice that?
It was very smooth.
Oh, my gosh.
And that has been some place where Grand Rapids has maybe struggled a little bit at times, but that was on point. And we are at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Morgan Lind alongside Jim Wimmer, Stacy back in studio. And Grand Rapids is up 43-0, 4:24 in the second quarter, and the Thunderhawks are out here to prove why they are one of the top teams in the state.
And we have Mr. McKinney warming up here on the sidelines.
And the kick is low liner that is going to bounce and be fielded near the 10-yard line. Now bringing it upfield are the Wolverines, breaking one tackle, breaking a couple, and up past the 25-yard line. And they will have it 1st and 10 for the Wolverines, and the starting defense comes out for Grand Rapids. But again, as you mentioned, we got some of the younger guys in second unit getting ready. Is Mr. Braden McKinney. I talked to Coach Swan after the Proctor game, and I was like, so McKinney getting a lot of time. He's like, I know he wants more reps, but when he gets in there, he's hungry. He wants to get after it.
Yep, and I heard him in your interview praising on what a great teammate he is. And McKinney just does whatever he needs to do, supports. You know, he is basically the third string when you have Oliver Spahn there, but he's so gracious to get some time.
4 wide receivers set, no backs in the backfield. It will be just a quarterback keeper from under center for the Wolverines, trying to push forward. And they get a couple of yards on the play, 2 to 3, and they'll be just shy of the 30-yard line as Tobin gets that forward. Joe Dick is at the bottom of the pile, and he is just wanting to get everywhere tonight. And now you're going to start seeing some of the guys subbing out.
Yep, the boys are coming out now, so Coach Spahn is saying, yep, we got our work in tonight. We'll send in the second troops. And we noticed last week, second troops was pretty difficult
Yes, they are.
to go against as well. So Grand Rapids, the thing they have going for them this year, we've talked about it, Marcus, they're deep. They have some depth here. You take a guy down, you usually got someone almost as good to fill that position.
And it's 3:55 left to go, second quarter, 43-0. Be 2nd and 8 for the Wolverines at the 28. And yeah, as you mentioned, Jim, I mean, that's the thing. And a lot of these guys that are going to come in, do you get some reps with that starting unit, kind of subbing in and out a little bit? Now they're going to get a lot of reps coming in. But Grand Rapids could go so deep because the roster is massive.
Yeah, and they talk about, you know, you practice against the first offense. A lot of times it's the second defense going against the first offense, and these guys get a lot of practice time against a
Really
very good
Yeah.
Thunderhawks first offense. So these guys, they get a lot of good practice in.
And this timeout on our YouTube stream brought to you by S&S Meats. And now they're going to get up against a starting unit of Rockridge. And they have trips to the right, one to the left. They stand Tobin back from center. He's back to pass. He's looking. He throws it. Screen far side. Now trying to get upfield and getting some room to run are the Wolverines. And they get up to, here's a first down for Rockridge.
Thunderhawks with some late substitutes there. I think they were a little unprepared there. Rockridge took advantage, was able to get a nice gain in that play.
And they will have it up near their own 40-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Wolverines, moving from right to left. There's 3:49 here in the second quarter. It's 43-0 Grand Rapids. The band for the Thunderhawks will do the halftime festivities, and they are on the track, and they're hanging out to our left.
We've been fortunate to see that. I think every home game this year, just been a treat to watch that band. They're so talented.
So Rockridge comes out. 4 wide receivers set to the right, to the left under center. And they will just try to push it forward again. That little QB keeper under center with Toman, and he's just trying to use that size. And he'll pick up a couple on the play. It'll be second down for the Wolverines.
Thunderhawks were able to regroup there, get things lined up a little better. Made it a little more difficult for the Wolverines. They did get a few.
And Rockridge kind of just taking their time, letting this clock kind of mosey down to under 3:20 as they are huddled up. It's 43-0 Grand Rapids. It'll be a 2nd and 7. Ball is the 43-yard line of the Wolverines. And they line up. Trips left, one wide right. Tolman stands back from center. He's going to roll near side. He's under duress, and he throws it. There's nobody
there might be a flag on that one.
It's coming in are the Thunderhawks.
No call. I'm really surprised. That certainly looked like intentional grounding, but
Asplund was coming in. Yeah, there was nobody there on that one, but they are going to just let this one ride out to 3rd down and 7. Clock does stop at 2:59 after the incompletion, ball at the 43-yard line. Again, it seems like no let up by Grand Rapids when that unit comes in, as Asplund was right in the face of Rockridge. And again, pressure, throwing it deep now, turn around. Good play in the secondary by Grand Rapids. Great coverage down the field.
I think that was 81 on the coverage. Grant Cleveland? Yeah, he did a nice job. Right with the guy, was able to bat that one away. Really good coverage.
Yeah, that's that was my position in football, was defensive back playing corner, and that's about as well played as it gets. Got, kind of get your head turned around slightly and knock that one down going on a deep route. That's impressive.
Yeah, I played there a couple years myself. I've been burned a couple times.
Yeah, right.
There's
I know
not
the
a worse feeling in the world.
I know the feeling. It's back to pass. Rockridge looking downfield, going deep again, this time near side, open, and it's caught by the Wolverines, and they are in to Thunderhawk territory.
Beautiful pass there from 17. Tolman lays that one up there.
To rate number 20 with the snag. And so this is now Rockridge with an opportunity as they're into Thunderhawk territory, 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. And maybe now they'll start showing a little urgency. 2:43 to go here in the second quarter. It's 43-0 Grand Rapids.
Tolman listed at 6'5", 225. Big dude out there.
He is a big dude. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He's back to pass. He's got pressure in his face. Those near side, and now trying to come up field and trying to find a gap, and they do. And it's to the 10. 5, touchdown, Rockridge Wolverines, and they're on the board as it's 43-6 with 2:20 in the second quarter.
I believe that was 18. That's Rory Scuffy, if I'm seeing the number right here. Tolman doing a nice job of getting that ball out as he had early pressure. Scuffy taking that pass and running it, cutting all the way back against the grain, blocking and finding space there, able to cut it back almost the full length of the field there and make his way to the end zone.
And they will go for 2. Will Rockridge. And they're going to run trips to the right. 1 to the left. Tolman in the gun, and he will be back to pass looking right. Throws it to the corner of the end zone and incomplete. I think he was wanting Helene, but couldn't get there. So score remained 43-6, but the Wolverines are on the board at 2:20 in the second quarter. And you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on the YouTube stream at KOZY Sports. And we are at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids, Morgan's Lind, alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy's back in studio, and Rockridge getting on the board, scoring in the first half. We really haven't seen a lot of that happen.
We have not, and as you talk, thus far this year, the only teams to score touchdowns on the Thunderhawks have been the Bemidji Lumberjacks, Hermantown Hawks, and now Rockridge Wolverines.
So Rockridge scoring here in the first half against Grand Rapids at 43-6, 2:20 left to go. We are in your second quarter. And Rockridge is getting ready to kick this one off from right to left. They got a little bit of confusion with some personnel, but they are going to get their guy in, ready to go. Coming into the game, going to be number 57, as Levi Foster. He runs in and gets set. And this is Helene will be kicking off for the Wolverines. This is a good kick, high, deep kick. It's going to be fielded inside the 10 with Ravers. Ravers has a hole. Oh, man, he's running. He's a 40, he's a 50. He's going to take this one to the house. Mr. Ravers doing it again. Touchdown, Grand Rapids. Jackson Ravers. Flex it out, my man. You are a stud. And he just took that. What was that? It was close to 95 yards.
Yeah, I think he picked it up at around the 5. It was a beautiful kickoff.
It was deep kick, and Ravers just housed it. 49-6, 2:07. We are in your second quarter. And just when Rockridge got a little bit of momentum, Grand Rapids just took it away.
Yeah, the C's parted for Mr. Ravers there. He turned on the afterburners and right up the middle and over to the right sideline a little bit. And he touched it.
Raleigh's kick is up and no good. And the score will remain 49-6, 2:07. We are in your second quarter, and you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on the YouTube stream at KOZY Sports. Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy back in studio. And Jackson Ravers, after the safety, took a free kickback as they punted it to him. And then on the kickoff, which was a deep kick by Rockridge after they scored a touchdown, Ravers just took it all the way back. So he's got a couple of special teams touchdowns tonight. Does Mr. Jackson Ravers.
Marcus Steele with a 55-yard punt return as well. So it's just they're just piling it on here tonight. Ravers also with a 69-yard run. And a lot of Thielen Ravers here, along with Mason Johnson.
That is kicked off by Grand Rapids. It's going to be fielded by the Wolverines. And that will be up near the 25-yard line, just over the 25.
And this is a second string kickoff team that Grand Rapids is in there, right? That's all new numbers on that kickoff team. So good to see that they're able to tap into the full bench here tonight and get some playing time for the boys.
So this is going to be at the 26-yard line. Ball's on the far side at 2:01. We are in the second quarter. 49-6. Grand Rapids.
But
Appreciate it. I'm going to need that at halftime. Boys, had 3 games in a row this week, so I'm a little raspy. And that is a low snap. Ball's on the ground. But Tolman's going to jump back on it for the Wolverines on the low snap. That will be a significant loss on the play for Rockridge. And it'll be second down and long.
yeah, when you're 6'5" and you get a low snap, that can be a bit difficult.
Got a long way down
Yeah,
there.
he had no chance on that, but just to fall on it.
Trips left, one wide right. Tolman back from center. And he will throw this. It's going to be a complete little curl route on the far side. And it's complete. And so they pick up some decent yards there on second down. So it'll be third down for the Wolverines with a minute 17 left to go before halftime. It's 49-6. Grand Rapids on top.
That was Scuffy again on that reception, defended by Cleveland.
So it's third and relatively short here. It's third and 2. And Tolman's back to pass. He's looking downfield. He's got some time. He's throwing it deep. He's got a man. It's tipped by Grand Rapids. And good play in the secondary again.
Cleveland once again able to reach out and prevent that. That's we've seen that play 3 times tonight, and it's been open every time. But Grand Rapids able to make up some ground every time and knock it away.
Well, he's having a night so far in the second there. They're picking on him a little bit, going deep up against one of the better receivers here for Rockridge. He's holding his own.
Yeah, Mr. Cleveland.
And he is a junior.
This is 5'8", 140.
So it's going to be 4th down and 2, and Rockridge is going to go here. The ball is at their own 34-yard line, moving from right to left. Thomas back to pass. He throws it. It is deep. High floating pass is going to be incomplete. It was intended for Rayton, and that will be a turnover on downs. And Grand Rapids will come out offensively with great field position. 1:07 left to go. And the offense, it looks like McNear's potentially going to come in as he is getting the play. McKinney's got his helmet on too, though. But it looks to be McNear who will get the play and come in, and he will for the Thunderhawks.
Looks like they want to get McNear a full half here tonight. I would imagine we won't see him in the second half, but
So 1st and 10, ball is at the 33-yard line of Rockridge. Grand Rapids moving from left to right. They lead 49-6. So one wide to the right, one to the left. You have some different backs in the backfield. McNear pitches left side and trying to get upfield and does, and still running and cutting in to near the 20-yard line and still at her feet. No whistle is blown yet. Fighting forward is Braden Scholl. And I talked to Coach about Braden Scholl. That kid scored a touchdown last week, and it was very similar to that play. And, boy, he wanted another one right there.
yeah, Braden Scholl showing some moves there. Able to dance up that left sidelines and picking up a nice gain. Looked like about 20 on that carry.
6'1", 180 junior. There's 58.9 seconds left. Clock is stopped.
In this second string, they want to punch one in.
1st and 10, ball is up to the 15-yard line. And now, Mr. Braden McKinney, under center for the Thunderhawks, and he will hand this one off inside. And still running forward is Grand Rapids.
That looked like Owen
Is
Stark
that
on
Owen
the
Stark?
carry.
And Owen Stark is in there. Now you're going to see a wholesale substitution on the offensive line.
And here comes McKinney. McNear's night is over.
So this will be 37 seconds. We'll see if they get another playoff because it's going to be 2nd down from the 7-yard line. 2nd and 2. McKinney under center. And he will snap this. And I think he's keeping it himself. He's running in, and it's a
Down.
touchdown! Grand Rapids! Braden McKinney with the touchdown. I know he wanted that one bad. And Grand Rapids goes over 50 points for the 2nd week in a row. 18.2 seconds left to go before the half. And Raleigh will kick the PAT as it's 55-6 Thunderhawks. Looking to extend that. And Raleigh's kick is up, and it is good. It is 56-6 with 18.2 seconds left to go in the first half. And you are listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge on J105, the Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
GNK up 8-7 at half.
That signal was, I'm surprised it took him so long to signal. Like, I was waiting for it.
Yeah,
I was looking on the far side,
judge,
it almost
he
like
was
it was short.
Oh, he was at the half-yard line.
I was like,
It was the near side guy that finally said touchdown.
and we are back at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy back in studio is Grand Rapids. Braden McKinney takes it in for a touchdown. It's 56-6 Thunderhawks. 18.2 seconds left to go in the first half.
And a beautiful fake on that play to start by McKinney. Occupied a lot of the Wolverine defense again. McKinney able to punch it in.
Powered his way into the end zone, and Grand Rapids Rockridge sending out personnel for the kick return unit. The Thunderhawks will kick off from left to right. Kick is low, squib kick bouncing over the head of Rockridge, and they will have to get a little creative here and field this, and they do. And here come the Thunderhawks special teams. Another big-time hit, number 23 for the Thunderhawks. As a Deepman again, we mentioned his name quite a bit last week too.
Deepman.
He's a player.
Yeah, Deepman. He gets out there and gets after it. He last week got a lot of play on special teams and he was busy. I believe he got in on some defense as well.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines, moving from right to left. Ball is at the 21-yard line. They're going to get a new ball in here, it looks like. So they got to hustle this one out. Get that in, get it set, and here we go. Tillman will be handling these quarterback duties for the Wolverines. With 14 seconds left to go, first half. And he's going to kneel this one out. And we're going to go to halftime here in Grand Rapids as the Thunderhawks are on top 56-6 over the Wolverines. And the little siren has now sounded, and our halftime on our YouTube stream is going to be brought to you by Pekegama Electric. And we will take a quick halftime break, and we will come back. We'll recap that first half, and we'll talk about scoring. And if you're on our YouTube stream, you'll be able to watch the Grand Rapids Marching Band do their last performance of the regular season. As we are so fortunate to have them again here tonight as you are listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football, J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
I posted my notes from last night too.
Okay, there you go.
I should learn to take notes like TD. Ever seen his notes?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man. I did the one game with him. We went down to Titans were playing down at Moose Lake Willow River. That dude, his notes are perfect.
I know when he does that extra yards, like I filled in one time and he gave me his book and I didn't even I was like, this is so much stuff. I don't know what to do with this. Because I was like, here you go, Joe. You can have his book. I don't know. There's so much. It overwhelmed me.
Yep.
They've moved him around. That one wasn't even there originally.
Do you like the lights on in here?
I think they need them. I wish they had them.
Yeah. If we were next door, we'd go dark.
You could
it's
go dark.
so much easier to see.
And we are back at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer, as this is Grand Rapids versus Rockridge tonight, and we are at halftime. It is 56-6. Grand Rapids with the lead, and the band is coming out onto the field for the Thunderhawks, and they are going to put on a performance on this Wednesday night football spectacular. And unfortunately for the Wolverines, the season that has not gone the way they have liked, because last year when Grand Rapids plays Rockridge, again in Virginia, so that was a very, very competitive game. I believe that was just a one-score game, and we kind of had this one circled here for a while before the season started, expecting Rockridge to come out slinging, because, I mean, you have Toman, the quarterback, big guy. I mean, this dude's a stud.
Yeah.
But it's just maybe battling some injuries. I know when the captains came out, they had some injuries there too, so it's just not been the season Rockridge has wanted. But for Grand Rapids, kind of the reverse, as Grand Rapids is having the season that they were expecting and wanting, as they are the number one team in the section, one of the top-rated teams in the state in Class 4A, and they are putting on another show tonight as they are up 56-6.
And as our seniors are being introduced out here along with their parents, if there was ever any doubt tonight, well, if Grand Rapids was going to come out here and put an exclamation point on their end of their regular season, they put that all to rest, because Grand Rapids came out here prepared. They've made very few mistakes here tonight, and they have been dominant all phases of the ball once again.
And they are, as Jim mentioned, they are recognizing the seniors right now, and it is the roster is very large for Grand Rapids, near 100 kids. The numbers have just been incredible the last few years here for the Thunderhawks, and they have a lot of seniors on this team, and very notable seniors as well. And this is just a season where I think you feel something very special. I know we've said that you feel something. And I heard that even Mr. Marcus Steele's dad just said there's something about this team. There's just something about them. Those intangibles, when you know that maybe there's something special in the works. And it does feel that way with this team.
And Coach Spahn, since he took over this program, he's been building it from the elementary school level right on up. When he started taking over the program, everything changed at the elementary level. The elementary school kids started running the same plays this high school team plays as well, and they carry that right on up. There's a great tradition now here going at Grand Rapids, and I give Coach Spahn a lot of the credit here. He has built a nice tradition here in Grand Rapids, and this year led by his son as one of the captains. They've got something going on here.
And you just talk about storylines as we can, because we're on the radio. The story of if you could get down to the bank. Wouldn't that be something for Coach Spahn to have his son, who's a senior this year and been one of the captains, one of the leaders on this squad, be part of that? It would be very, very special for a guy who, again, Coach Spahn, he's always the first one to reach out to me. A lot of times you have to reach out to the coaches and stuff like that, get the interviews. Like, hey, can we do the interview this week at this time? I mean, he takes that initiative, and I mean, as you've listened, Jim, we have great conversations every single week between me and Coach Spahn, and he's just been fantastic to work with. And I mean, Coach K is always so fun too. Coach Gunderson, they're all great.
Yeah.
And the kids love them. Kids love each other, and this is just a fantastic program right now for Grand Rapids. Again, they are leading 56-6 at halftime, and our halftime on our YouTube stream brought to you by Makegama Electric. But it's been fun to watch, and Rockridge right now is just trying to figure how are we going to regroup and get through this. Mar's not here, but I know where he went, because he sits next to us. He runs the clock here at Grand Rapids. But they are going to shorten the time for the third and fourth quarters is my assumption. Now, North Branch did not do that when we went there. However, I anticipate that we're going to have a shortened second half, because that is the new rules now this year, is they shorten the third quarter, and then they will shorten the fourth quarter with running time in the fourth quarter. So we'll see what Marv will bring back to us and let us know with that. But it is 56-6 Grand Rapids. And, again, we're so lucky to watch the band, too.
Yeah, we have it so awesome here. Last night we were able to experience the girls soccer team winning the section title. And the celebration that happens here, and it's every night after the football games, it's the same. It's just the greatest atmosphere. Just feel so fortunate to be part of it.
You know, and we talk about that, Jim. It's opportunity here the last game of the regular season. You know, I know David Moody's always giving me a hard time. I give him a hard time back in the station because we were talking about the soccer call last night, and I go, David, because David's like, you guys are your I know he's just giving me a hard time, giving us a hard time. He's like, you know, you guys' post game is so long. But we have so much to talk about, I tell him. But I go, it's because it is. As you mentioned, Jim, it is a party here in Grand Rapids. After the soccer games, after the football games, I go, well, David, you know, that's just kind of what Grand Rapids is all about.
That's right. And as I said, we hung around a long time. When I pulled out of here into the night there, I looked back. It's starting to lightly rain, and there is still a large contingency. I imagine a lot of the players and their families out there celebrating that victory. Grand Rapids girls soccer team, first time ever able to take it down to state.
Yeah, and we will be following them, by the way, if you're a Grand Rapids fan. We just will not know until Saturday. Saturday is when the high school league will do all the seedings to know where they're going to go, what time they're going to play, and all of that. So we will let you know as soon as we do. Kind of some speculation. We might have to be traveling down south a little bit, but we'll have to see how that works out. The band getting ready to play, so if you watch our YouTube stream, I'm going to wide zoom out so we can see as much as we can. And we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back, and then I know Jim's got all of his notes from all the scoring that occurred in the first half. We'll go over that next as you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
The rock the house. The band takes the field when they announce the field, the whole crowd goes, rock the house.
Oh, that's really good.
Yep.
No.
More than what? The price you gotta pay to be the voice of Noble Hall Field. Oh, they've added some stuff to this program. A little flair into it.
Yeah, they get wild tonight.
Trombone sax duet going on down there.
We're in Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer, Stacy back in studio as we're at halftime. As you may be able to hear the Grand Rapids marching band in the background as they are putting on a show for all the folks here at Noble Hall Field. Your score at the half is Grand Rapids. They're loud tonight.
added some flair to this program. They've got some things happening out there.
Yeah, I could hardly hear myself talk there, but 56-6 is your score. Grand Rapids leads over Rockridge here at the half. And Jim, let's go over that scoring that we had there in the first half.
And there's a bunch of it. Rockridge receives the opening kickoff. They were able to get a little momentum going, but they punt the ball away to Grand Rapids, and right away, Mr. Rabers on a 69-yard run play around right side. Yeah, 69 yards. Rabers, first play of the game for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. Raleigh kick, we got 7-0. And then it's Mason Johnson takes a handoff up the middle and busts his way to the end zone for 25 yards. Broke a couple tackles, found the left pylon on that one. Raleigh comes in, makes the kick. And that was at 6:44. We're at 14-0. Then at 11:21, Grand Rapids had a safety, a high snap into the end zone, and the ensuing play following that safety, Rockridge punts the ball away to Marcus Steele. He picks that up from 55 yards out, returns it to the house with a Raleigh kick. We're at 23-0. That's including that safety. Then at 10-12, we're in the second quarter now. Catching up to my notes. Okay. At 10-12, Mason Johnson, 35-yard interception return. Raleigh comes in, and another kick. We're at 30 At 6:59, McNear busts one up the middle for 14 yards. Raleigh kick was blocked. Now we're at 36-0. 4:24 to play. Rabers on a 10-yard sweep. Raleigh kick was good. That gets us to 36-0. Finally, Rockridge at 2:20. It was Tomey to Scuffy from 14 yards out. Scuffy with a nice cutback on that play, able to get that one to the end zone. 2-point conversion was no good for Rockridge. And then Rabers on the ensuing kickoff takes it 95 yards, busts it up the middle, and he is loose and he is gone. The Raleigh kick no good. We're at 49-6. And then with 18.2 seconds to remain, Braden McKinney from 5 yards out gets it in. Raleigh comes in. Extra point is good. We're at 56-6 at halftime.
Grand Rapids on top of the Wolverines. And while we have a moment, let's thank some more of our great sponsors. We have a couple of great sponsors for Rockridge here this evening, and that includes Northern Light Surveying and Frank's Tire and Muffler. And we want to continue to thank our other sponsors as well for Grand Rapids, include Mr. Furnace, Dale's Auto Body, Northland Portables, Atchison Tire, Deerwood Bank, Lavilla Lumber, Super One Foods, S&S Meats, Vendors, and Mackley Auto Repair for bringing you Thunderhawks football. Again, our halftime on our YouTube stream brought to you by Pekegama Electric is the band continuing to play here in Grand Rapids. Rockridge, who met as most teams do toward, there's a little gate that opens up on the far side of the field to the left end zone, just beyond the left end zone. And they've already made their way back to the sideline. Of course, Grand Rapids hanging out in the ship, but they look like they're ready to come out. They're kind of, it looks like congregating there. They're just awaiting the band to finish up their festivities, and then we'll get things going. And as soon as we know, we will tell you what the length of the third quarter and fourth quarter is going to be, as those will likely be abbreviated here at the start of the third quarter with those new rules. They don't have running time in the third quarter. However, you can shorten it down, and there can be running time in the fourth quarter. You can also shorten that down. And we'll get you some scores from the other games that we are carrying on Rapids Radio. At halftime, at the last check, it was 8-7 G&K over Aiken. That is a big game. Actually, both of the other games on our stations, G&K versus Aiken, and that is on KOZY, and then on 96.9 KMFY, MIB and Jet River, and MIB was up in that game in the first half, 6-0. So we'll see what those scores continue to be, as I know Stacy and Super Joe back in the studio will get that to us. And of course, extra yards tonight with Super Joe on KOZY, 1320 AM, 92.1 FM. He'll be recapping this game as well as those other two games that I mentioned and the other Northern Minnesota scores if you are in this section between Grand Rapids and Rockridge. Really the game that we're looking at is primarily, and even for Rockridge in that regard, is that North Branch Hermantown game, because one of those teams is going to be the 2 seed, which one of those teams will likely play Rockridge because Rockridge is at the bottom of that section. So there's a lot of implications with that game, and Grand Rapids would get the bye, and they will not play on Tuesday, but will likely play, they will play on Saturday. So more of that to come.
Ultimately, those 2-3s could be looking at matching up again.
Very much so.
Coming through that bracket. So, fortunately for the Thunderhawks, they wouldn't have to face the 2 or the 3 until the championship game, and
Which is
you don't
on Halloween night.
You don't want to be implying on anything, but Grand Rapids looking at having a pretty nice path here.
As they very well could. The band just got done playing here at halftime for Grand Rapids, so we'll take another quick timeout, and we'll be back for your second half of play here very shortly as you're listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
And here comes the boys. You guys ever have a team this dominant, Marcus? Good defenses?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always the name of the game, right? Your defense is good.
2 minutes and 6 minutes, huh?
Yep. Just like last week. So.
We're still looking at Verbeek.
I think so.
I mean, Rabers has had a night, but so has Johnson. Johnson with the pick 6 and the oh my god!
It's like we can talk to those guys almost every night.
Oh
those
my
dudes,
god!
they
Yeah.
just put
Well,
it
we gotta
up,
get one of the big boys in, huh?
They're the ones setting them free.
You betcha.
We're the ones setting them free.
And those guys have had some pass tonight. It's like, yep. That kickoff return was impressive, but Rabers such good vision. Joe Dick and his neck roll out there. Oh, here's the footballs. Mason Johnson, I believe, was listed at 165 last year, probably.
What is he, 190?
190.
That's
Next year, he'll probably be about 210. And
be.
just, oh my gosh. I don't know. I just love that kid. He plays with such heart.
And welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer, Stacy back in studio as we are getting ready for your second half of play. Our halftime again on our YouTube stream brought to you by Pekegama Electric to keep you updated on what the second half will look like. We will have a 2-minute third quarter, and then we will have a 6-minute fourth quarter with running time as Grand Rapids is up 56-6 over the Wolverines of Rockridge. We are getting ready for your third quarter of play, and your third quarter on our YouTube stream is brought to you by First National Agency of Coleraine. They are supporting local athletics. Speaking of Coleraine, G&K I mean, with Stacy, I got to get Stacy on to Super Joe. Say, Super Joe, we need that score. I need to know. I need to know if
Yeah,
we're,
he's super.
he is, because if we don't have it, although we could have state soccer that night, but if they don't, I'm about ready to go over to Coleraine and get wild as all get out, watch those Titans play. So we'll see what happens. But here we go.
Yeah, I'd bet they'll have a full house over there if they host the game.
Oh, yeah. I'll be excited for that one. But here comes Rockridge out onto the field, as does Grand Rapids. Again, if you're just joining us, Rockridge in the all-whites. They got those slick uniforms. White bottoms, white tops, green numerals, black helmets. They have the Wolverine on each side of the helmet with that green stripe that comes down. Grand Rapids in the home blacks, black bottoms, black tops, orange numerals, black helmets.
I think
with
we have
the
some
Thunderhawk logo on each side.
new return men deep, don't we, Marcus?
We at least one. At least one. I can't see the number on the far side. I might need your binoculars here to see that. Is Helene is going to kick this, and that's going to be fielded. That was almost a really good. It's kind of a squib kick, but almost like onside that was fielded very well by
So that
Grand
was
Rapids.
Cleveland.
And
Cleveland.
yeah, and that was number 81.
Number 81, Cleveland, and number 37, Noah Kinkle were deep on. So Grand Rapids getting a full slate of second string here, including return men.
So third quarter has just started, and we are 1:59 in the third quarter. As this is a 2-minute third quarter, 56-6. Grand Rapids has the football, and they will come out. Mr. Braden McKinney, who's got a touchdown in this game, will lead the offense out. First and 10. Ball is at their own 44, left to right. They have twins to the right with the double wing set fullback behind. McKinney is Stark. McKinney will take it himself. He's finding a hole. He's to the 50. He's cutting near side. He's to the 40. He cuts back and he gets a stiff arm. Braden McKinney down across the 25-yard line. Get fired up, Braden McKinney. Boy, what a run.
Braden McKinney for about 40 there. He just rumbling down the right side there. Puts his arm out there and he says to that defensive back, get out of my way.
What an opportunity for a senior who has just been a great teammate, and come out here on his last regular season game at home and just put on a show.
Yeah. Hopefully for McKinney, he gets the whole second half.
As he will be under center, and he will pitch this to Scholl, who's got some speed, and he's cutting inside of the 10. It will be a first down for Grand Rapids. Again, number 12, Braden Scholl. He's showing some skills over the past couple games.
Nice tackle there by number 20, Elijah Lane. Scholl looking for the end zone there, and Lane wraps him up and says, no, you don't.
But it will be first and goal for Grand Rapids. Ball just across the 10-yard line. So officially at the 10, first and goal from the 10, 56-6 Grand Rapids. There's a minute 11 here in the third quarter, 2-minute third quarter. Twin split wide to the right. And then double wing set Stark right behind McKinney under center. And they will hand this off to Stark, who's powering forward, and being near the 5-yard line are Grand Rapids. And we're going to see more substitutions coming in for the Thunderhawks. And Brody Roach, number 51, coming into the game. And the next quarterback up for Grand Rapids, if McKinney does not play the whole game, I think will be number 18. We got two 18s, so I got to figure out which number I'm going
I think
with
it's
here.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah, I believe so. As that's handed off, no, McKinney's going to keep it. It just got kind of tripped up by his own feet. Turf Monster got to him, and so not a lot going there. Now coming in. Again, I'm trying to get as many of the rotations coming in. Hey, Blake Bigwood's coming in, number 88.
All right,
Heck
Blake.
yeah.
Let's go.
Loud lays the wood down. This is 3rd and 6, but this will be the end of the third quarter. So again, your third quarter brought to you by the First National Agency of Colorado on our YouTube stream. We'll give them another shout out. And now we're going to your fourth quarter. And your fourth quarter is going to be brought to you by Ray Sport and Marine. And we are going to switch sides of the field, and this will be a 6-minute fourth quarter as you are listening to Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football at J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Oh my gosh. Did you just come up with that?
That one was off the cuff.
That was awesome. Very easy to have fun when you're winning, isn't it?
And welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids as we start your fourth quarter of play. And Grand Rapids goes for no gain on that play with, I believe, McKinney. And so right on the tackle for the Wolverines.
Yeah, McKinney
And this is going to be
just
fourth down.
getting swarmed over there as he tried to take that one up the middle, and Rock Ridge kind of punishing him right to the ground.
So 56-6 is your score. This is a running time, 6-minute fourth quarter, and it is fourth and goal from the 4. McKinney under center, double wing set, fullback behind McKinney. One twins to the right. It's going to be a pitch, far side, and now cutting up and getting into the end zone. Touchdown, Grand Rapids. Number 37, Noah Kinkle, plants his foot and takes it up the for the first time this season, I believe, is over 60 points as they're at 62-6, 5:09 fourth quarter.
Nice pitch out there from McKinney to Kinkle, and Kinkle with a really nice cutback. That play was getting cut back in, but Kinkle finding a spot there, able to cut that right into the end zone. Really nice play there around right side.
Raleigh will be kicking this one off on the PAT, and it is good. It is 63-6. Grand Rapids on top of Rock Ridge, and with 5:09 left to go in the fourth quarter, and you are listening to Grand Rapids versus Rock Ridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Bigwood was the difference on that one.
He would. Oh, he's a senior. I did not know. 5'7", 140. And we are back at Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer as Noah King for 4 yards out for the Thunderhawks. It is 63-6, 4:56, and we are in your fourth quarter. This is a running time fourth quarter. Grand Rapids will be kicking this one off from right to left as we see it here again. Your fourth quarter on YouTube stream brought to you by Ray Sport and Marine. And I want to thank some more of our great sponsors. They include M&H Gas, Itasca Economic Development Corporation, Woodland Bank, Cruise Property Management, the Timberlake Lodge, Nooches in the Corner, Northern Star Co-op, Cenex, Grand Rapids State Bank, Grand Rapids Public Utilities Commission, 218 Supply, Cedar Creek Tavern, and the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association. And the kick is up high. The kick will be fielded just in front of the 10-yard line by the Wolverines, and they will cross the 25 and get close to 30. Flag comes out. It's been a relatively clean game.
Yeah.
Not a lot of penalties here, but
Imagine we'll see a little holding on this one, or a block back. Like in the holding area.
cheer squad for Grand Rapids making some noise. It will be a hold against Rock Ridge, and for Wolverines fans, it is unfortunately one of those nights.
Yeah, it's unfortunate as much fun as we're having over here on the GR sidelines. It's not a whole lot of fun on the Rock Ridge sidelines. I've been on an 0-9 team. I know what that feels like. That's not any fun when you're getting blown out.
But coming up against one of the best teams ranked in the state here in Class 4A, so number one team in the section, and now some miscommunication. Grand Rapids are running guys in and out and personnel, and looks like everybody is set, and we are ready to go. As the clock is ticking, it will be under 4:30 here shortly. It's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines, moving from left to right, and they are at to their own 20-yard line. We'll have a new quarterback in the game. for the Wolverines, rolling near side to pass. Got some speed, throwing it deep and incomplete. Yeah, it was Rayton, number 20, the intended receiver. This is number 5 for the Wolverines. This is Croy Colbert. He is 5'8", 140, a sophomore. Now, Chance Colbert for Rock Ridge, fantastic basketball player and softball player for the Wolverines. Was able to watch her a couple times at the state tournament as we covered Rock Ridge girls basketball at the state tournament the last 2 years as they've won the section. And covered her during softball, too, because Rock Ridge has a fantastic girls softball, of course, girls softball team.
Nice. Mr. Cleveland on the defense again there. He's been busy over there at the left defensive back position.
Trips right one, left over is going to throw this near side. It is complete and out of bounds by Rock Ridge, and that's Scuffy. And Scuffy's he played pretty well tonight too.
Yeah,
Where's that skull cap that they have?
He got their lone touchdown. He made some nice moves on that reception and run back into the end zone. So Scuffy had a few receptions here tonight, doing a nice job. Also returned kickoffs.
And I tell you what, I didn't think it would be as low-scoring. David told me it'd be a low-scoring game. He thought so. I did not think it was going to be. But MIB does beat Deer River tonight 6-0.
Wow, what a defensive battle.
So I believe now MIB will be the third team, be the third seed in that section. MIB moving up from 9 to 11, man, and being
along
of course,
with Cherry, they've added some depth to that section 7A.
I tell you what, MIB the Ravens find a way, and they will hand this off and run a little sweet play over the far side is Rock Ridge, and that is going to be not a lot going for the Wolverines, but it will be now third down and pretty manageable for Rock Ridge.
Like Jake Sterich on that sweep play for Rock Ridge going around left side. Not a whole lot of room there. There was a host of Thunderhawks there waiting to wrangle him up.
So fourth down and 3. Ball's at the 27-yard line of the Wolverines, moving from left to right. You see Colbert staying back from center. He's got 4 receivers set to the right, to the left. He's back to pass, looking, going deep. Even it deep, and a flag comes out, and this is likely going to be a PI or a hold defensively. Holding out his arm is going to be number 91 for Grand Rapids, and that is Samuel Hoffman.
And Samuel Hoffman said, "I'm innocent." I think
So,
referee
proven
says guilty.
And Norman, when the official says you're guilty, it's the argument generally does not work.
And Rock Ridge get themselves the first down out of that deal. And when the Thunderhawks are watching that tape, they'll be talking to Mr. Hoffman a little bit, probably.
Up across the 40 now for the Wolverines. 1st and 10. Colbert claps his hands, takes snaps, rolls near side. Looking downfield. He's going to throw it on the run. He wants Scuffy. He goes up and incomplete. And he's holding out his hands. And again, sometimes the pleading does not work for either side. And this will be 2nd down for Rock Ridge.
Cleveland on the coverage once again, staying busy. You got 81 covering 18 there. 18 looking for some pass interference on that, but I think that was good coverage once again by Cleveland.
Yeah, going up against Scuffy, he's a good talent here for the Wolverines, and he will come out. Is he going to come out of the game? He looks like he will. It will be 2nd down and 10. Balls at the 43-yard line over Rock Ridge, moving from left to right. They will run trips to the right, 1 to the left. Colbert's in the gun. And he's looking, wanted to go near side, thought about it. Now he maybe wants to go deep. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run. He's the 50. He's got some speed, and he's hit on the Grand Rapids sideline. And again, 5'8", 140 is a sophomore, but he's got some wheels to him.
And Rock Ridge will have to hurry. We got getting right down to 30 seconds here.
As this is a running time 4th quarter, and they do want to get at least one more play off here. As it's at the 45-yard line of Grand Rapids, so Rock Ridge is going to try to get one more snap off here. If Colbert claps his hands. He's back to pass. He's looking. He might want to take a shot, and he's going to heave it deep, and it will be caught by the Wolverines deep near the 10-yard line for Rockridge, and time will expire. But they do get the big play to kind of build off of with Colbert coming in as a sophomore quarterback, and then you build on it, you build on it, you build on it.
I think that was Rayton, number 20, with that reception. Nice touch on that pass by Colbert.
And that is your final, though, is the teams are lining up at midfield to congratulate each other. But your final score, Grand Rapids 63-6 is your final score. Grand Rapids will only have one loss on the season, 7-1, and they will be the number 1 team in Section 7-4A, and we will wait to see who their opponent will be on next Saturday. So we got some rest time, Jim, but we're going to get into your post-game show. Your post-game on our YouTube stream is going to be brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back to get a post-game interview, and we'll wrap things up from Grand Rapids. Again, final score, the Thunderhawks win 63-6 over Rockridge. And this is Grand Rapids versus Rockridge football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports. You can probably do a 3 here, and then bring it back, and then I can talk for a little bit, and then we can take the next 2.5 after that at some point. Welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer. Stacy back in studio. Grand Rapids has just defeated Rockridge 63-6 to go 7-1 on the season, and they are the number 1 team in the section. They will get the bye coming up here, as most teams will play on Tuesday, but Grand Rapids will not have to play until Saturday, but we'll see what the rest of the section will hold. Again, big one tonight between Hermantown and North Branch. And looking forward to extra yards tonight on KOZY 1320 AM 92.1 FM and on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Rapids Radio, to see what that score will be. Again, your final score here between Grand Rapids and Rockridge, 63-6. The team for Grand Rapids is broken off of their big huddle into the three smaller huddles. To our right are the Wolverines of Rockridge, as they are huddled up, and they will wait to see their seeding and who they will play in the section tournament coming up next week. And for our YouTube stream on our post game, it is brought to you by the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, and this is our last YouTube of the football season. Is once you get into sections, all those rights and regulations and everything with the high school league. But we want to thank our sponsors for YouTube this year, not only the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, but Mr. Furnace, Ray Sport and Marine, the Dutch Room Mad Dogs Pizza, Kegama Electric, First National Agency of Coleraine S&S Meats, and Rapids Roof Trust. Of course, the Grand Rapids Football Area Football Association had our lead blocker tonight with Gary Dahlberg at halftime. That was cool, as I got to meet Gary before the game. It's super nice. It was super fun. Got to take some pictures, had some fun with that. Again, lead blocker award goes to halftime of every home game. It's just a very prestigious award here for the Grand Rapids Area Football Association, and they recognize those great individuals in our Grand Rapids community that have made an impact, especially here in the football program. So it's so awesome to always see that. The band playing tonight. It was senior night here in Grand Rapids, and the regular season is now complete with a 63-6 victory for the Thunderhawks as we await our post-game interview. As the Wimdog Jim Wimmer going down to the field, and we're going to talk to one of the offensive defensive linemen, because those guys have been just stellar all season long. Again, an update for you on the MIB Deer River game. That was a big one tonight on 96.9 KMFY. MIB getting the victory over Deer River 6-0. We'll get a G&K score for you hopefully as well before the broadcast is done, as they're playing Aiken tonight on the road. And that one has big section implications as well. And soccer. Girls soccer for Grand Rapids punching their ticket to the state tournament for the first time in school history, and we will have that for you next week too. So stay tuned for that. We've just got so much going on. It looks like the Wimdog Jim Wimmer is going to have our post-game interview up here very, very shortly, so we'll keep it right here. And again, continuing to thank our sponsors that allow us to do these games all season long. That include Mr. Furnace, Dale's Auto Body, Northern Portables, Grand Rapids State Bank, Atchison Tire, Lapville Lumber, Super One Foods, S&S Meats, Deerwood Bank, Benders, Mackley Auto Repair, M&H Gas, Itasca Economic Development Corporation, Woodland Bank, Grooms Property Management, the Timberlake Lodge, Nooches in the Corner, Northern Star Co-op, Cenex, Grand Rapids Public Utilities Commission, 218 Supply, Cedar Creek Tavern, and the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association. Late in the fourth, Aiken took the lead 27-8. And so it looks like Aiken, at this point, will defeat G&K, but we will see how that one ends up when it goes final.
Oh, we got Marcus waiting for you, buddy.
And we have number 64, Dolan Verbeek, joining us, one of the captains here for Grand Rapids on our post-game interview. Grand Rapids again winning a 63-6 over Rockridge. Well, Dolan, how you feeling, man?
Pretty good after that one.
Yep. Awesome, man. Well, we wanted to get you up here because, I mean, all season long, it really starts up front, right?
Yep.
And so tell me about you, the guys up front, what you feel most proud about this season, especially even tonight getting this 63-6 win.
I think up front, for the O-line, all the guys, they kind of lean on each other, they build off each other, and it's all just one big unit, and it goes for the whole team, This year just feels a little bit different than the past years, and everyone just kind of comes together and just, it feels good to have a good night like this. So.
Well, we talk to some of the skill guys from time to time, whether it's McNear, Raber, Steele, those guys, and they always say, hey, it's always starting up front. They're opening holes, and tonight was no different. There were some big-time holes, so you get physical. I mean, in the trenches, just beating those guys across from you all season long, whether it's in North Branch, whether it's in Hermantown, wherever you guys have played. I mean, where does that physicality come from for you guys?
I think it comes from practice. You know, in practice we're pushing each other all the time, and it's, you know, we call each other out. If you're not going 100%, we call you out. So it always starts in practice, and it just contributes to the game day. You know, just physicality. So.
Well, you know, we talked to Coach Spawn. I mean, Coach Spawn, he's always going to say it always starts up front. And so tell me, what is, you just kind of mentioned you're calling each other out, but what's it like in practice with the coaching staff and with you guys and how that works together?
For the coaching staff, it's great. You know, we got Coach Sims there and Coach Kellen for the linemen there. But, yeah, so we're constantly just pushing each other, and it's like, just this year we can, you know, kind of talk a little smack with each other, but it's like it kind of builds that trust and builds that connection with each other. So.
Well, and you guys are pretty deep too, whether it's offensive, defensive line. I mean, a lot of guys get to rotate in. You have obviously the big roster. What's it like with some of the younger guys and how they're coming up?
It looks great, you know, and it's good seeing these guys get in there and seeing what we have for the next couple of years.
Well, of course, you're a senior, right?
Yep,
and,
yep.
of course, it's senior night
Yep.
here, the last regular season. What kind of emotions you have here on senior night?
You know, I try to play it like it was my last game, and it was my last game, so for regular season. So, you know, it was just take it all in. So, yeah.
Well, it's always a party here in Grand Rapids. Again, we are with Dolan Verbeek, one of the captains here for Grand Rapids, one of the guys up front. You're number one team in the section.
Yep.
When you came into the season, did you think that what the season has progressed to be? Did you expect it?
I think I definitely expected it. You know, it's lived up to what I expected. So.
Fantastic. Well, you get the bye week,
Yep.
or at least the first game, and then you will play again on Saturday. So what's next for the Thunderhawks after the big win over at Rockridge, 63-6?
So tomorrow we just have a little walkthrough, and we have the weekend off, and then it starts Monday. Monday is gonna be a big week, you know, for Saturday. So it all starts at practice next week.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations on a big-time season. Congratulations on pushing everybody around up front.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, joined with Dolan Verbeek, and we will be right back, and we'll wrap up our post-game show with Grand Rapids has just defeated Rockridge 63-6, and you're listening to Thunderhawk Football on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports.
Great job, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Congratulations on the season. Sweet fight, too. Good luck in the playoffs.
Hey, you too.
That was great going down there. Guys are like, Dolan, yeah!
Yeah.
Go get him!
You get a big kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brula's bigger than him.
Ain't no wild. Oh, man.
It was calm. It's starting to pick
Now
up a
it's
little
starting to
breeze.
pick up.
Although flag's still holding tight. Joining the party. Saw he had a little limp going when he was going into his section meeting down there. Oh, he's getting a hug.
1 minute. Right on. Stacy will wrap things up. We'll get on out.
Tyson Rabers, you recognize that name?
He might not be.
He's on crutches down there.
Yeah.
That must be little brother, huh?
I think so, yeah.
10th grader. 6 foot, 140. 6'1". They basketball players?
Hockey. I believe Ravers is a hockey player. I believe so. Yeah. Steelers too. And welcome back to Noble Hall Field in Grand Rapids. Marcus Lind alongside Jim Wimmer, Stacy back in studio. Just got done talking to one of the seniors and captains up front, Dolan Verbick. And, he comes in. I kept looking at the roster. Is 6 foot 250. I'm like, yeah, you're a big guy.
He's a big dude.
And-
I can see how he pushes people around.
Yeah, those guys up front been eating all season. The guys across from them, and they did so tonight against Rock Ridge.
And every interview you've done this year, it's been the same theme. They're like, it all starts in practice. So we hold each other accountable. We call each other out. You ask them every week, where does it come from? And every time it's practice. So these guys, they go hard in practice, and that's where they've built this chemistry.
They have definitely bought into what this program is all about, and it shows. I mean, when you have a score like this, it doesn't matter who you play. And Rock Ridge, they're going to be a team. They're going to come out there and battle, and they did. In that first series, they came after it, and they had some opportunities. They were able to get a score in the first half there, but Grand Rapids has just been too much and continues to get better every single week. And, that's Coach's message.
Yeah.
You got to get better every single week.
And if there was any doubt as to whether or not they were going to hold on to this 1 seed, there absolutely was no doubt, because they came in here tonight, put an exclamation point on the regular season, said, we're the 1 seed.
They are the ones.
We're the ones you need to come after. And I think this is going to be a tough team to take down.
They're going to be very tough to take down. Again, 63-6, final home game of the regular season. They will get the bye, so most teams will play on Tuesday. Grand Rapids will await their opponents, see what Tuesday brings, and then they will play on Saturday, and that will be of next week, which, I'm kind of happy about that, Jim. I love calling games. I wish I was calling game on Tuesday, but, soccer's next week, too. So this kind of gives us a little leeway to do some state soccer as well. So it all works out here at Grand Rapids, and all smiles here at Noble Hall Field. The party, it does continue. And this is, again, it's just, we talked about it, the buy-in with these guys, and it does. It all starts up front. And when you can win the line of scrimmage, you can win the game.
Yeah, and we witnessed it from up here tonight. It was a parting of the seas. Those guys had some holes they were running through, and on the return game as well. The schemes that this coaching staff has put into place is certainly working, and they have the bodies to pull it off.
Well, we talk a lot about the offense, too. Of course, 63 points, in the offensive line, and how they did, as you mentioned, they just parted the seas tonight. Then you talk about defensively, and how often do we talk about the linebackers, whether it's Spawn, whether it's Joe Dick, whether it's Mason Johnson, who I'll play. But it does, again, start up front, because those guys are eating up the offensive linemen and letting those backers find those holes to get through and make those plays.
Exactly.
And then the secondary playing good. Sweeney played well, and then when the third group of guys came in, the secondary was still on top of the game.
Mr. Cleveland's name was called a number of times, came through every time on a difficult matchup with Scuffy.
So it was just a big-time win for Grand Rapids. Of course, Rock Ridge will be back in sections. You could tell they're a little banged up this season as well, but they've got some good talent. Especially, I was really impressed when the second round, when the young quarterback Troy Colbert came in. He's got some speed. He's got some size that I'm sure he'll grow into. That he's a little smaller. Then Tolman, who's a big guy, 6'5", 225, the senior. But Rock Ridge, of course, with Virginia Evelyn Gilbert, that co-op, they're always going to have some good squads, and I know that they're looking forward to the winter too. They got a really good hockey team that's going to be a power in the section. So they just has not been their season in Grand Rapids. When you come up against a team that's the number 1 team, as you mentioned, they proved it tonight. I think you mentioned, they continue to kind of go up and down a little bit in that state ranking. I think we've seen them as high as 4th. They've been down to about 6th. They're sitting at that to 4, between 4 and 6, depending on the QRF and how that's all standing. But this team's going to be tough to beat if they continue to get better like they are, especially up front and just beating guys. Because when you can win the game physically, you don't turn it over, and the penalties are at a minimum, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win.
Yeah, this is a tough draw for Rock Ridge to come in here and try to take down this team. You have a lot of guys are playing one way here, so they're coming in fresh. You can put Oliver Spawn and play him at just linebacker. That says a lot about this program. And Proctor was the same thing last week. Proctor's rebuilding the program over there, and to come in here and try to compete with this, That's very difficult for a team that's rebuilding.
You know, and you look at the last few games for Grand Rapids, you know, that Hermantown game was a battle. You know, Hermantown's going to bring it. We know that. And I'm very interested to see the score versus North Branch tonight. But, you know, after that Hermantown game, they went to North Branch dominant. Absolutely dominant. And then you're like, all right. And then they came in against Proctor, again, a team that hasn't necessarily had a season, but came out absolutely dominant. Dude, as dominant as you expect them to be. And this game, even more dominant. And so I am very excited to see what happens here with Grand Rapids as they continue to win. The party continues to go. Few people may be starting to wander around, but again, senior night here
Yeah,
tonight.
a lot of the seniors are hanging around. I saw groups of them out here taking pictures together. That you can just see that there's a chemistry amongst that group. There's something special with these boys.
And we hope to go a long ways. And it was interesting, you know, Jim, because it takes me back to, as I asked Dolan, kind of, you know, the expectation in the early parts of the season. He says, yeah, we expected this. This is what we did. And in practice, when they started two-a-days, I watched the Facebook page for Grand Rapids football, and they had this belt. And they would always, every day there was another guy who had the belt, and I asked Coach, I go, what's that belt like? And he's, you know, if you work hard, you do what the program expects you to do, you follow everything, the rules and the expectations, you get this belt. And on the belt, he did mention, is, I believe, a picture of U.S. Bank Stadium. And they said, that's the expectation. And I go, well, all right, that's the, you know, hey, you're going to shoot high. That's, I mean, you should as a team. That should be your expectation. But now, almost, you know, obviously not to get ahead of ourselves, but hey, we're radio guys, so we can is say, you know what, that bank is in sight. That big Viking ship, as they say down there, is an opportunity for this team. If they continue to get better every week, they're going to give themselves a shot, and that's exciting.
And after an early season loss to a really tough Bemidji Lumberjack team, a 5A team, Grand Rapids went in there, compete, and Bemidji gave them a really difficult first half, but Grand Rapids come back and competed with them in the second half. Since then, this team's been on a roll. And, you know, early on, I believe they were probably seeded third in this section.
Yeah.
Hermantown and North Branch both
Yep.
getting state rankings early. Grand Rapids getting some votes. And Grand Rapids showing everybody, no, we're the ones that you're going to be shooting for here, boys.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? You know, you talk about that, Jim, because I remember even kind of season, what was I think it was Denfeld Hermantown was one of the first games of the season, and it was all on the press, like this was going to be the big matchup. And Grand Rapids was semi-overlooked, I think, in the start of the season. They're not being overlooked now.
Yeah,
not with scores like this.
I think I shot you a piece from one of the Duluth news channels, and it was one of the Denfeld players being interviewed, and they're like, yeah, Hermantown and North Branch are going to be tough. There was nothing mentioned about Grand Rapids. Well, I think the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks have gotten a lot of attention.
The Thunderhawks. Yes, they are. Everybody's watching the Thunderhawks right now, and they are the number one team in the section. They will get the bye. Again, we will keep you up to date on our Facebook page, on our Instagram, on our website, of course, on the radio station of where Grand Rapids will or obviously who they will play and where they will be going and all this stuff as we continue to go through. But they will play on Saturday, and we'll have more information for you as soon as we have it. Volleyball team, I believe, is the number one team in the section as well.
All right.
Yeah, I know they got the big win over Hibbing. Again, QRF in there too. So that will be big. We'll have seedings coming out for you. And we will have state soccer, as Jim and I were here last night. That was a big one. And we will have that for you next week as those seedings come out Saturday as well. And so I guess we're on to the postseason.
Yeah. See you back here next Saturday.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
And we'll be ready.
We will be ready. It's going to be fun for Stacy and Super Joe and Sam and then Rochelle, everybody back in the studio. Coming in on a Wednesday night and coming all season long. We appreciate you so very much for all that you do. Of course, David Moody covering Deer River all season long. They did fall to MIB tonight. It looks like Aiken is going to get the win over G&K, but for Dano, who's been calling G&K football all season long, it has been such a pleasure for Jim Wimmer joining me tonight. We're gonna run this thing as far as it'll go, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much, and to all of you who listen, and to everybody that has been a part of this. It's been a pleasure, and we will get ready for section football next week. I'm Marcus Lind. This has been Thunderhawk football as they have just defeated Rock Ridge 63-6 to end the regular season. And you've been listening on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com, and on our YouTube stream at KOZY Sports. Good night, everyone.